Ah, yeah. Smooth tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so glad that you are with us live from the nation's capital. We are not ashamed of the good news of conservatism, for it is the power of liberation. First to the Republican and then the socialist. Don't know where that's coming from. There we go. Just had a little noise interruption there, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, this is a huge night tonight. Major General Paul E. Vallely, U.S. Army retired, also CEO and chairman of Stand Up America, will be with us in just a few. We'll be talking about Britain, jihadism, and the ban in America on terrorism. And we'll also be talking about wiretapping Donald John Trump, the President of the United States. Ladies and gentlemen, what a huge day today was. It was a big day. I am so glad you are with me tonight. I want to thank, of course, the beautiful and vivacious Dr. Joanne Fisher of the Women's Veterans United Committee Incorporated CEO. They honored me today at that event. Can you imagine that? Hey, went to the women's event today, early this morning. Wonderful, wonderful event. That's the way you should assemble to get all those representatives in the state of Maryland, the People's Republic, to do your will. Listen, let me do this before we really get started. May the words of my mouth and meditations of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, for you truly are my rock and my redeemer, Jesus. And I ask right now that you bless my wife from the crown of her head to the soles of her feet. Give her peace, resurrection, power, and healing forevermore. In Jesus' name, amen. Yeah, I'm running a little late. And I'm very apologetic for doing that. I need to also get over into that chat room, since I am blasting the people in my own to get there. I need to get there myself. Listen, you know how we start this particular evening off, as we always do. You know, and we let the children lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. We will be joined by the great Major General Paul Vallely. So glad to have you all here. Let me get in that chat room. Bam, there we go. We connect there. Okay. So sorry for the late delay. Things happen. So let us not stay too long in this. Let us get the kids started with the Pledge of Allegiance, will we? Here we go. Okay. For those who are following us via Ustream, you see the flags behind us. For those who are following us via live stream, thank you very much. You see the flag right over on that side. SHR Live, thank you so much for carrying us. This is Tech Kids Radio Night, and as well tonight, Red Nation Rising, 2 a.m., carrying us. Woo! There you go. Excelente. And he's wearing a jacket and rather stylish. Ooh, thank you. Yes, very special this particular evening, because we have a very special guest with us, and I am so glad that he's with us tonight. Simply because, quite frankly, in this particular age and era where a lot of stuff is going on, you want people of great prudence and intellect to be with us to talk about these particular things, and none better than, of course, Major General Paul Vallely, U.S. Army retired. Forgive me. We're gonna give him a ringy dingy here. There we go. Going to make sure that you all hear this live and clear tonight. So much going on in the world. Good evening. You are on the Exceptional Conservative Show live from the nation's capital. Major General U.S. Army retired Paul Vallely. Okay, apparently I can. Okay, gosh, you just sometimes you just okay. Okay, we're gonna try this another way. Because I don't want to. This is a very important guest. Don't want to lose him at this particular juncture. Only when you're trying to do something right does something go wrong. Did you ever notice that? Yeah. Let's see if we can get this going here. All right. Major General Paul Vallely. We are attempting to. And we. Good evening. This is.
You hear me?
Yes, I hear you, and we're attempting to set the sound now to make sure that we hear you even better. Good evening,
Okay.
Major General. It's a great honor and privilege to have you on the air with us tonight.
Well, thank you for the invitation. I wasn't sure how you found my name.
It is a great privilege to have you on the air, and you are CEO and Chairman of Stand Up America, U.S. And tonight we really wanted to talk with you because if anyone would definitely be knowledgeable enough to speak with us, not one of those bona fide idiots that show up on most of the cable news shows, but we wanted someone who could really broach us with information as well as consonants in terms of the terroristic actions that took place today. And so before we get into that, I want you to tell everyone what Stand Up America is all about and how they can be a part of that.
Well, we're a little bit over 10 years old. We were founded, I guess, maybe 10 or 11 years. I can't remember anymore. But primarily to do analysis, intelligence reporting, particularly in national security, international events, and also represent the traditions and values of America. And so with that in mind, we present many events, TV. I was with Fox News for 10 years, as you may know.
Yep.
I was their senior military analyst. And so today we're primarily a network group overseas and in the United States that track national security and military strategy primarily.
Indeed. And I'm going to tell everyone in America, listen, if you're not reading Stand America U.S., Stand Up America U.S., forgive me.
StandUpAmericaUS.org, yes. StandUpAmericaUS.org.
Exactly. You need to. It's just that very simple. Major General, we're getting the understanding today that there is concern both here and in Britain and in most of Europe that because of efforts in Yemen, ISIS has doubled down and they are beginning to attack feverishly at the very hearts and souls of individuals in these particular countries. And I wanted to get your thoughts regarding this before we go to a quick break. Is this ISIS, is this a major concern for America at this point?
Yes, it continues to be. I just got back from Moscow. I was speaking over there with 12 other representatives from 12 other nations regarding the Middle East. But we all concur that the Islamic State will die this year because of the takedown of Mosul and their headquarters in Raqqa, Syria, where President Trump has positioned some very dedicated special ops troops and joint strike force there. So that's only 30 kilometers north of Raqqa. So you have that dynamic going on. At the same time, you have increased emphasis of ISIS, Yemen situation, for example, in Africa, but also the cells that they've been able to develop in Europe and in the United States. And so I think we're going to see probably an uptick of situations like we saw in London today. We'll have more in Paris, more in Amsterdam, more in the United States. But they know we're tracking them now. We're after them, and sooner or later here, we're going to neutralize them.
Well, when we return from this particular break, because we have Major General Paul Vallely on, and what an admirable military mind to have with us tonight. We want to talk about what happened in Britain, but we also want to talk about the ban on terrorism, jihadism here in America, and why the left is so fervent in blocking that particular ban. You're listening tonight to the Exceptional Conservative Show live from the nation's capital. We'll be right back right after these messages. We'll be back in 2 minutes and 2 seconds. Thank you all so much for tuning in tonight.
It's a love story like no other. From God's heart to yours. And for 30 years, it's been at the heart of every book, Bible, CD, gift, and resource from ChristianBook.com. Over 500,000 products, always at the very best value. ChristianBook.com. Everything Christian. Because it's our story, too.
Now, Brownells, we know you may have only one shot to harvest that trophy, so we have thousands of accessories and replacement parts to improve your chances. We know how much you love to shoot, so our gunsmiths articles and videos will help you do more and get more out of your guns. We also value your hard work and money. That's why only Brownells backs up everything we sell with a 100% unconditional lifetime guarantee. Brownells, the world's largest supplier of firearm accessories and gunsmithing tools.
With home values up and interest rates near all-time lows, you probably know that now is a great time to refinance, like the Johnsons, who save $436 a month.
$436 a month?
It's simple. Just go to LendingTree.com, compare loan offers for free, and see how much you could save in just 5 minutes.
I thought you said the bank gave you the best rate.
Yeah.
LendingTree. When banks compete, you win.
I have to do everything myself.
Someone is sleeping on the couch tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you back to the Exceptional Conservative Show live from the nation's capital. That's Washington, D.C., for those who do not know. We have on the line with us tonight a great military mind and strategist, of course, Major General Paul Vallely, U.S. Army retired. We're talking tonight about the terroristic actions that took place earlier today in Great Britain, where 4 people were killed, 40 injured. One of the 4 people killed happened to be a police officer. And with all the information and technology that we have today, how did we not know that this attack was coming in Great Britain?
Well, it's typical of most of the attacks that are generated through the jihadi network, the radical Islamic network that has been extended throughout Europe, particularly in England and France and Holland, and of course in the United States, as we've seen the different attacks against Americans. So basically, the mosque that we've tracked down are primarily what we call the Trojan horse, where the imams recruit, spread the hate against the Western world, and also to other parts of the Muslim world, the Arabic world. And so today, this individual obviously was routed a plan to execute it, going to the bridge to the Parliament building in London. And of course, one of their new tactics, as we've seen in France and other areas, is use of vehicles. We saw it in Berlin, saw it in, I guess it was Nice, wasn't it?
Yes.
Or Marseille,
Yes.
Marseille, I think it was, last year. So he had a knife. He attacked one of the policemen who died today, and then we think he's still the same individual that had the car, the truck or whatever it was. I don't remember quite. I just got the news earlier.
Wow.
About that attack, but to run down people. So this is one of their jihadi tactics to put fear and terror spread throughout population areas. So this will continue until we can kill them off one by one, by team, by cells, and then the roots of all of this, which is the funding of these people, much of which is still coming out of Saudi Arabia, as we found out. So, and then, of course, Iran is part of the international network supporting terrorism like Hezbollah and Hamas and so on. So you'll probably see a rise of activity even in the Israeli area, Palestinian area over there, too.
Now there are lots of Americans who are listening to you tonight, Major General, and they're saying to themselves, how do we stop an individual who is using his personal car to terrorize individuals? What does the American military or the police in our particular culture have to do to stop these mentally deranged individuals?
Well, number one, they've got to be completely vetted if they're coming out of the Middle East at all. We know at least 20% of those coming out as refugees are related or recruited by ISIS. So good intelligence operations, vetting, tracking them down, particularly these no-go zones. I was in one north of Paris a couple months ago, and I witnessed it for myself. So you have to take it from that level. Also, where's the funding coming from? Start tracking the money. Find out where they're recruited, what mosque or throughout what system they're recruited from. So it takes a composite effort to destroy this cancer that's spreading throughout the world.
You said earlier that the Saudis are funders, that Iran, the Republic of Iran, Islamic Republic of Iran, is also involved in terms of providing resources for ISIS. Does the Trump administration have the resources, along with the NATO allies, to defeat this enemy? And why is it taking so long for us to put the hammer down on this particular group?
Well, I think there's two things here that have to happen. Number one, the Islamic world, the Muslim world, must take action. And the nations I was with, representatives 2 weeks ago in Moscow, realized that as well. The Saudi government's got to take action. The other governments over there, like King Abdullah in Jordan is doing, Erdogan in Turkey. And so it's got to be crushed primarily with the change in attitude towards this radical Islamic threat. And so that has to be done. At the same time, police and military actions to preclude attacks occurring, as we've seen in London today, United States, Paris, Amsterdam, Marseille, and so on. So it's a multi-pronged effort, but it must be destroyed, and it must be destroyed as quickly as possible. And again, we all agree that the spread of the caliphate, the Islamic State, where they set out their efforts in Iraq by taking Mosul, and then areas like Raqqa in northern Syria. So joint strike operations have to be conducted to basically go to the nest where they are, defeat them there, and then track them down and defeat them where we can find them. So it's a multi-pronged effort, but it can be done and it will be done.
And you know, one of the issues with keeping them entrapped or in an enclosed area was the invasion of Europe by the refugees from the Middle East. And Angela Merkel was one of the great inviters to the demise of Europe over the
The
past
biggest.
yes, over the past 3 years, and virtually over 1 million men between the ages of 18 and 25 from the Middle East are now in Germany alone, not including all the other numbers in the rest of Europe. So there looks like there is an army that has invaded those particular cultures. But again, Europe doesn't seem moved at all to deal with the immigration issue. Are they moved? Is that what you're hearing from your trip to Moscow?
Well, yes, and I was in Paris the month before that, and of course the police and the military there, as well as in Holland and in England, are taking more advanced measures now to gather the intelligence and report any kind of attacks. But you're not going to stop them all until we really neutralize this whole system by the multi-pronged approach I just discussed.
Exactly.
They're very upset in Germany with Merkel. We're hoping Marine Le Pen will be the new president of France because she gets it. She understands. Unfortunately, Geert Wilders in Holland did not win, but he's a big influence over there.
Yes.
But Europe, when I was in Paris, I can tell you, the people were just fed up with the media over there spreading a lot of false news as they witnessed it in the United States. And people are getting tired of it. So there is some standing up going on over in Europe to a great degree. And they realize they have to do it because they can't depend on their extreme left politicians, progressive politicians, to solve the problem because they seem to be incapable of doing it, just like Obama and the left-wing progressives in our country. And by the way, when you look at Obama, who supported the Muslim Brotherhood, and I happened to be in Cairo 2 trips after that, but here you had administration supporting the Muslim Brotherhood, which is funded by a lot of money out of the Middle East, that completely wants to develop Sharia law in the United States and to continue to demean what democracy is. So we have our big battle here in the United States going on, and we are anticipating more moves by the Trump administration there, particularly General Allen, in closing our borders and protecting our borders. And we have to realize, too, our seaports and our airports are borders as well.
Yes.
And they come in and out of the United States. And a lot of people don't emphasize that enough.
You know, coming off the whole idea of the immigration issue, 3 judges out west in the Ninth Circuit decided that the President of the United States, since he's a Republican, doesn't have the same powers that when he was a Democrat he once did, and thus bans on individuals coming from nations that we're at war with, well, at least certain commodities within those particular nations that we're at war with, has been blocked. And so I wanted to ask you tonight, are we serious here in America, or at least with the jurists that we have on the dioceses throughout America, or the benches throughout America, are they serious about the threat that, which is reasonable in terms of what occurred today and could possibly happen here?
Well, it is happening here and has happened. No, they're not serious, and they're not looking at national security first. And how can we have a system where lower court jurists, judges, can overrule the President of the United States trying to abide by the law and the Constitution to protect America? There's something wrong here, and some judge in Honolulu, Hawaii, can basically place some kind of a court order on the United States of America.
Yes.
To the president. This is all backwards, and somehow these changes have got to be made within our own government, that we have serious. I mean, even the sanctuary. Now they're trying to create Maryland as a sanctuary state with some left-wing progressive there, I guess, on a city council or somewhere.
That's correct, in Montgomery County, Maryland. Yes.
I'm not sure, but anyhow, they want to make Maryland a sanctuary state. Give me a break. Come on.
You're absolutely right. And California is also weighing the options of becoming a sanctuary state. And there are other states that are doing it. I want to congratulate those people who are listening tonight in Mississippi for making it illegal for any city in the state of Mississippi to claim itself a sanctuary city. That there would be penalties applied to those particular cities at the state level.
Yeah, shut their money off.
Exactly. And
Shut
so
their money off, and they'll start squealing, believe me.
is Donald Trump going to do that soon at the
I
federal?
hope so. He needs to. They need to do it, and they need to do it however they can do it. Shut off the money if they are, taking in the illegal immigrants and refugees that haven't been vetted. Absolutely. Yeah, cut their money off. And that's what I think the state of Texas is going to do with the county there in Austin, Texas, where the sheriff has basically designated that county as a sanctuary area. I mean, we are so upside down in this country, but I have faith that as Donald Trump goes forward here each and every day, he's accomplished 35 different things already in just a little under 2 months in office. Isn't that amazing?
Well, you wouldn't hear that unless you were reading. Yeah, you wouldn't hear that unless you were online with Stand Up America, U.S. You wouldn't hear it because inside 695, 495, 295, Washington, D.C., and New York and L.A., they will never tell you that he's that accomplished in short of 100 days.
Yeah, that's correct.
Now,
anyhow, it's a battle. We have a battle in America. We have a battle overseas, and it's going to take good, strong leadership and a lot of us being warriors in this battle here to save the country. And we just got to hang in there and support the president's team because he's no dumb guy. I mean, he listens, he reads a lot, and you may think some of these tweets are a little silly, but he usually has a reason for doing it. Even Congressman Nunes today and my friend Joe McInerney in Washington have divulged that what Trump really said about the bugging by the Obama administration into the Trump campaign, I think we're going to find out is very true.
Now, this is what the media here is telling us, and they're saying that first and foremost, Donald Trump had collusion with the Russians on jacking up the electoral process. Somehow, the Russians have hypnotic powers to make every person in America vote for Donald Trump, seemingly.
It's all a myth. It's all deception.
Exactly, and then there's the follow-up of we want Donald Trump to be investigated, but when Nunes comes forward today and says, well, he's right, all of a sudden, well, he's not the right guy to say that. How messed up is this entire process? Is this just full duggery at this particular juncture? Or have the Democrats had their final stand when it comes to Donald Trump and they've lost?
Oh, they've lost it. They're demeaning themselves, but we have to keep in mind what is happening in the swamp there, in this deep government, as we call it. How bad the swamp is. The swamp is the swamp. There may be 3 or 4 levels of the swamp back there that extends out into Maryland and Virginia. But we've got to understand that we've got a mission here, and we cannot let this deep state get done. Comey needs to be fired, the FBI. I don't trust that guy. Yep. Ryan needs to resign. But there's still this Republican establishment back there that's part of the swamp that we call the establishment, right?
Yep.
And so people have got to be arrested, put in jail for all these leaks. I mean, if Comey was doing his job, people already would be in handcuffs.
Gosh darn,
including Hillary Clinton.
Exactly. You're absolutely right. Final question for you tonight, and then I want to give you the opportunity to tell everyone how they can subscribe to Stand Up America US. In terms of the wiretapping, if this had been done to Barack Obama, would it have been handled the same way that we are hearing out of the press in Washington, D.C. and New York? And then secondly, wiretapping. Does the president have the right to wiretap an individual if he so pleases?
Well, who knows what goes on behind the scenes in the White House and what's directed there as we go all the way back to what happened, with Nixon and the Watergate issue back there. But certainly the president has his close in confidants that he can direct certain things to be done that you'd never know about. Mm-hmm. And so my mistrust of Obama, and of course Vallely Chair just moved in with Obama and his wife. Lord knows what they're up to every day and night over there, hiding out behind the wall. But they're up to no good. They've always been up to no good, that whole corrupt system. But here's the point.
Mm-hmm.
We would have never found out how corrupt our government really is if it wasn't for Donald Trump. And it wasn't even actually Julian Assange or WikiLeaks. I mean, the stuff that has come out that has been validated from the corruptness of people in Congress and the judicial system within the executive branch. We would have never known it unless Donald Trump had run for office and won. A lot of the stuff would still be going on unknown to the U.S. citizens, in my opinion.
Just one quick question, and then I'll let you talk about Stand Up America. If Ryan doesn't get the 28 people that he needs to get the bill passed tomorrow, will he be targeted in the next election by Donald Trump?
Well, I think he's going to be targeted by his own people. I mean, the guy absolutely is incompetent. He's never accomplished anything. I supported the gentleman that ran against him in Congress out there last year, and wish he would have won. Paul, I can't remember his last name. But anyhow, from that standpoint, he's digging himself a grave in that the Freedom Caucus guys, and they have, you know, when you listen to Rand Paul and some of these others, they have a good stand debate. Make it one bill, do what it has to be done to repeal that Obamacare, and they actually come in and start innovating, putting it back in the private sector. And so I don't think it'll pass tomorrow. I hope it doesn't.
Exactly. I concur with you, Major General Paul Vallely, who is CEO and Chairman of Stand Up America, U.S. How can people read the great stuff that's on Stand Up America U.S.?
Well, there's two ways. Go to our website, standupamericaus.org. Join us as a member and support us any way you can. We have great Americans all over the country supporting us. Second thing is to subscribe to our newsletter, which we put out every week. And it probably got the most updated intelligence information that you'll find anywhere. So go to the site, check it out, and my email is in there as well. You can email me or our editors, and we're just trying to do the right thing for this country.
Well, you have, and we appreciate you, Major General, for taking the time out of your busy schedule to be with us tonight to talk about these particular issues. And we would love for you to be back next month so that we can talk with you about the trip by Donald Trump to, well, at least meetings with Donald Trump, who is president, and also Xi Jinping of China and Putin out of Russia. Next month is a big month.
Very big. And the Russian report is on our website right now. If you go to it, you can see my report from Moscow.
We will add that to our chat room tonight so it can be dispensed and disseminated to everybody around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, the great Major General Paul Vallely, thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure to talk to people like you. You have a great show, and thanks for the interview.
Thank you so much. Man, I'm sorry I was so nervous at the very beginning of this particular interview, everyone. But it's not often that you get a chance to talk with Major General Paul Vallely. I mean, you might as well call up the Department of Defense and ask for Mad Dog to talk to you. You know what I'm saying? So it's a tremendous honor to have him on with us tonight. We want to send our condolences and our prayers to those in Great Britain as they have experienced at this time of reporting, and this may change even as the night goes on, but literally the loss of 4 lives, one being a police officer, and in addition to that, over 40 people have been injured as a result of the terrorist actions that were committed today. So, ladies and gentlemen, I just want you all to know, without a shadow of a doubt, what the jurists in America are doing is putting you and I and your children at great risk. It is time that we do something about it. That starts with Comey. We can take a look at a few other people along the way. But I would encourage each and every one of you, if you really want to get the information that you need, including interview with General Vallely while he's in Moscow, if you really want the inside information, you need to go to Stand Up America US. It's not even a choice anymore, because you know what's happening in the media right now. They are blockading you from getting some of the best information that is out there, and they want you to be like that. And in fact, what I would ask that you do is share that particular link with everybody, every single body that you possibly can. Let them know that they can go to standupamerica.us. Well, at standupamericaus.org. Forgive me. I'm trying to get this all together. Why don't I just go to a break at this point? And I will. And I want to thank all the great people who have been listening to us on Red Nation Rising. God bless you all. And I'm on at 2 a.m. on the Liberty Channel, so listen in then. But also SHR Media, because this is SHR night, ladies and gentlemen. And that's Sackheads Radio Night, and you know what that is. You know. I don't need to tell you. So let's sit back, let's relax, and let's get some of these promos played. Starting with this one. How about this one?
In this day and age of buck teeth in reverse, it is now racist to protect national sovereignty. Hello, I'm Ron Edwards. On today's page from the Edwards Notebook, it used to be commonly understood that racism is unwarranted abuse on all levels against sovereign individuals because of their race. The Democrat Party's heritage is one that is steeped in racism. In fact, Democrat Party racism was so prevalent that the Republican Party was founded to oppose the evil mindset of Democrats. But today, the Democrats are so twisted that they oppose President Trump's revised travel restrictions that are designed to improve the vetting process for those seeking to come into our republic. They say it is racist, wrong, and mean for the American government to dare protect our sovereignty and citizens from those who have vowed to convert us or kill us. Basically, Democrats and other assorted globalists are saying that their judgment is more important than that of our commander-in-chief, who simply wants to protect us from enemies both foreign and domestic. My fellow Americans, the time is now to stand for what is right, including the protection of America the beautiful. God bless you, God bless America, and may America bless God. I'm Ron Edwards.
Sponsored by the Tri-County Liberty Coalition.
You are listening to the Exceptional Conservative Network. For more information, go to www.theexceptionalconservativeshow.com.
Welcome to Lion Chasers, where faith and public policy intersect. And now, your Lion Chaser in the good fight of faith, Lonnie Poindexter, on Urban Family Talk.
We're not saying that there's not instances where there's maybe racial injustice somewhere. This is America, and people are human, and there's sin in the world. He's a president of first. He's the first president to say that America is not a Christian nation any longer. But you know, we'll pray for our enemies while we defeat them.
You can't blame folks for messing up the city. There has not been an elected Republican in council in Baltimore City in over 50 years.
In the co-captain's chair with me today, Reverend Ralph Chittams.
What's happened is the social justice movement has now been hijacked.
Good evening, Lonnie. Hang in there.
A godless movement.
Don't be bamboozled. Ladies and gentlemen, Frederick Douglass was a gun-toting conservative. It's not a black or a white issue. It's a God versus anti-God issue. And I know those would say, well, it's all rigged. It's all a game, Lonnie. Because I get that a lot. And there are the crew that has their bags packed at the train station waiting for Jesus to come back. He's going to be here in a minute. Oh, a train went by. Another train went by. No, it wasn't Jesus. But he's coming. Meanwhile, Rome is burning. The host of the Black Man Thinking radio show. Welcome to the show, Stanley Levy.
Good morning, Lonnie. How are you?
The core issues, the bull elephants aren't in the home. We got to do away with the entitlement programs and the things that hamstring us.
And that's where the conservative viewpoints really resonate for my generation.
I want to welcome to the show the host of the Exceptional Conservative Show, and that's my brother Kenneth McClinton. Welcome, brother.
Lonnie, it's an honor and privilege always to be with your ever-expanding audience.
Let your listeners be Lion Chasers with Lonnie Poindexter. If Lion Chasers sounds right for your station or network, contact Will Addison by email, waddison@afa.net. Encourage your listeners to be Lion Chasers with Lonnie Poindexter and Urban Family Talk.
We have with us tonight none other than the great American lion chaser in chief, Lonnie Poindexter. And you can find him on urbanfamilytalk.com, ladies and gentlemen. Lion Chasers with Lonnie Poindexter. Good evening, sir. It's a great privilege to have you on the air with us tonight.
Hey, Don Vito, it's always an honor and a pleasure to be on the show with you, brother.
Well, thank you so much. Now, I wanted to ask you, because I know that you are a multi-billionaire and, metropolitan playboy and everything, and, I see you get all that. Yeah, you get all that wealth from your Christian icon experience. Yesterday, stock market falls 200 points. Today it was down a little bit. But there is an uneasiness in New York, actually from New York to LA right now, about what's happening on Capitol Hill and what's happening with Obamacare, or Ryan Care, as we have had it persuaded to us to accept. I want to get a feeling from you, because you talk to nearly 7 million people a week. What are the church-going folk thinking about what's happening with Paul Ryan on Capitol Hill trying to force people at this point to vote for Ryan Care?
Well, the lay of the land, Ken, is that you've got two factions in D.C. You have the establishment factions in D.C. That's regardless of party affiliation. And then you have this outsider and one, Donald J. Trump, who has been elected president with his own constituency. And so, from my perspective, Ryan Care, Rhino Care, Obama Ryan Care, whatever the new moniker is Paul Ryan being Paul Ryan, part of the establishment crew who was willing to acquiesce on issues that really matter for the people, just to go along to get along, because that's what D.C. politics are. The bottom line is the people want a full repeal of Obamacare. They don't want Obamacare 2.0, Ryan Care, Ryan Care, whatever it's called today. And they elected Donald J. Trump based upon that. So Donald needs to push back, and we need to push on our elected president to remind him that he was elected on a full repeal of Obamacare. If he just takes the some of the evidence being provided by Ted Cruz and also by Rand Paul and Congressman Meadows and some of the others that have taken a strong stance on saying a repeal and coming up with better programs, we need to remind this is where we the people can make our presence known. If we can get the crass New Yorker elected November 8th last year, it shows there's power in the people taking a stand and voting their values. As you know, 81% of the evangelicals got up and voted last year and brought about change. Mm-hmm. But we can't sit on our heels. We must be rattling the phones, email, social media, whatever we've got to do to get the message out so it rings all the way to the White House that, hey, what we want is a full repeal. We don't want a fix. We don't want a Band-Aid. We want a repeal, and we want the marketplace. I think health savings accounts are the answers.
Yeah.
What do you say?
No, I agree with you in terms of health savings accounts, which was the moniker of Tom Price when he was a congressman. Now, HHS secretary, you would think that you would want to push all of this at the same time and get it pumped through But somehow they have this nuance of and Dave Milner in the chat room is talking about the Plan B. You know, why do we need a plan? Obama didn't need a plan A, B, and C, or 1, 2, 3. Obama did it. I don't understand it, but Paul Ryan doesn't believe that the 98% that tuned in at the last election that were evangelicals, he doesn't believe they're coming out in 2018. You know, because y'all were just practicing. Are y'all just practicing?
You know, I agree with you. They tend to think, they're isolated here. They tend to think that they're outside because, DC has its own ecosystem. But we can make life very uncomfortable for him. I mean, we could start a recall. There's a lot of different things that we can do to let this guy know that it's not going to be business as usual because you're all buddy and chummy with McConnell and Graham and McCain and the rest of the establishment cronies on the GOP side of the aisle, that you're not willing to take a stand based upon principle, that your butt needs to go to.
Yeah. I can't think of a better way of saying it than what you just said there. There will be hell to pay if this bill passes as it is. And now you as a Christian are being told that because you're not on the team, and you and your fellow ministers that follow you on your ministerial group, you guys are not part of the team. You guys are really like Nancy Pelosi because you don't get it. And how is that message resounding with the conservatives and Christians that are tuning in and listening to you every single day?
Yeah, that's certainly what's going about, that you're not a team player, that, this is better than what we had, and so this is the best we can do. But see, the cronies in D.C. on the GOP side of the House, the establishment, they're on that whole thing that the compromise is the operative word. But last year had nothing to do with compromise. When you think about what took place, it had nothing to do with compromise. We had the House, the Senate, and the Oval Office. The American people are saying enough is enough, and so we need to rattle those cages and let those congressmen and those senators know, if you guys roll over for this doggone thing, we're going to remember every last one of you. I got to tell you, bro, for my show, I'm going to be putting them all on blast every chance I get from now until the midterms next year.
I got to give it out to, because Mark Meadows, I believe he wants to run for governor of North Carolina. And last fall, he didn't sound as conservative as he sounds right now, sounding the trumpet. That there are 28 right now, 28 conservatives, or at least those that will assign themselves to the conservative bloc of the Freedom Caucus, that will not vote for this. If that is true, tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, okay, Paul Ryan will pay a very heavy political price for this. Am I right on that?
No, I think you are right, and I certainly hope he does. Now, we know the folks on the left side of the aisle are going to have a field day because they think it's a battle that they won, but they're not understanding it. We get it. The faith-based community gets it, man. I talk all the time on my show that y'all need to understand that the establishment members on both sides of the aisle are trying to run the show, doing the OK Street shuffle, which you educated me on when I first got here, and that the jig is up. We understand what's going on. The shot fired across the bows, the fact that Donald J. Trump was elected to let them know we get what's going on, and in short order, they can all be replaced.
Now, Melanie Collette in the chat room says that her boyfriend, Paul Ryan, will not pay.
She thinks he's so cute.
I know, she thinks he's cute. He's just the cutest in the thing. She says he's not gonna pay. He's not gonna pay any price whatsoever.
He'll play a price on the PR game. He's sitting in a hollow position. He's kind of like John Boehner 2.0, but eventually John Boehner went away.
Yes, he did.
So, nobody's above being pulled down from the little ivory tower. And I don't care how cute she thinks he is. I saw her post about that. I don't agree with his ideology, but I think he's cute.
I'm just saying, Donald Trump made it very clear about a week after he came to office, he said that if you vote against the bill, or I don't have a bill to sign by the time April rolls around so that we can begin focusing on tax reform, I'm coming for you in your district. That would include Paul Ryan. How can people listen to your show, Lonnie, every single day, Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time? How can they listen to you?
They can catch me on urbanfamilytalk.com. That's urbanfamilytalk.com. The name of the show is Lion Chasers with Lonnie Poindexter. You can also catch us on terrestrial radio towers across the country if you want to know where those are. Go to urbanfamilytalk.com and click where it says About. Scroll down. It'll tell you the geographic areas. We actually have conventional radio towers. We broadcast in two mediums. We broadcast over the radio dial. You can catch us on your stereo in your car, on your radio, or you can catch us via the internet.
There you go. God bless you, sir. Thank you so much, and continue getting those warriors praying for tomorrow, because I think that's doomsday for Paul Ryan.
All right, brother. God bless you. Talk to you soon.
Take care. Ladies and gentlemen, Lonnie Poindexter. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, just want to give you a little update on what's happening in Great Britain. God bless you. Hang in there.
Money Talk with Melanie is a lively discussion of global, domestic, and kitchen table financial topics. Join your business diva, Melanie Collette, as I speak with respected entrepreneurs, CEOs, authors, and politicians as we explore today's fiscal environment. Money Talk with Melanie airs every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 10:05 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Exceptional Conservative Network.
My name is Amanda,
Remember,
and I spoke
this is important because it's your money.
The best late-night conservative talk show in America, TECN Radio. And listen, there are no people better on the air to give you the best in conservative talk than TECN Sean and TECN Clint. And we're working on immigration papers for a certain other guy who happens to work here too. For those who are tuning in around the world to the best in late-night conservative talk, TECN Radio.
Dude. 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 Dude.
The best late-night conservative talk show in America. In America.
And in this web was a large, I'm pretty sure it was the biggest spider I've ever seen.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Got the band in here. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you so much for tuning in and listening to the Exceptional Conservative Show in this first hour. We got a big second hour. Of course, the Kraken will be joining us at 10:10 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to release them. Yes, we will. And in addition to that, Shannon Wright of Shannon and Mike the Right Way will be joining us in the latter hour, and she'll be dropping the mic. But I do want to tell you to do this for me. And this is reasonable, what I'm asking you to do tonight. And I'll talk about it when I come back in the second half of the program. I want everyone in this particular chat room, and I want you to get everyone else that you know who has a Facebook account. I want you to go to teapartycommunity.com. Don't tell me about whatever issues and problems you had before with Tea Party. We will work those things out. I'm not getting paid for this, but I'm telling you right now, there is a psychological warfare going on Facebook against conservatives, and especially against those who happen to be hosts of the Exceptional Conservative Network. Sign up for teapartycommunity.com. Make certain that you go there. Make certain you sign up for it. Get in there. Get there now, because there's some stuff happening at Facebook, and hopefully next week we'll be able to unveil to you all of that stuff. And it's real, baby. It is a real psychological warfare. We will be right back.
Dan Stoffel with The Real Clear Israel. Join me every Sunday morning at 10:05 Eastern Time on the Exceptional Conservative Network, where we'll be discussing Israel with guests from Israel and around the world.
That's The Real Clear Israel, 10:05 Sunday on the Exceptional Conservative Network.
Human by race, Christian by faith, American by nationality, conservative by choice. It's Reverend Ralph Chittams, the Wright Guy, on the Exceptional Conservative Network from 4:05 to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. The Wright Guy on TECN.
Hi, my name is Willie Lawson of The Willie Lawson Show here on the Exceptional Conservative Network. We have a brand new show on at 9 a.m. Monday through Friday. We are bound to make you think. We are bound to make you see things differently. We are bound to push you into action for not only your community, but your country. That's The Willie Lawson Show on the Exceptional Conservative Network, 9 a.m. Monday through Friday. See you there. Hi, It's time to celebrate, ladies and gentlemen. Ken McClinton and the Exceptional Conservative Show celebrate 7 years of excellence in broadcasting here on the Exceptional Conservative Network. 9:05 p.m. Monday through Thursday, the finest in conservative talk anywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to celebrate!
The bloviating Zeppelin. He's big-footed enough radio shows to last a lifetime, courtesy of Sean, Clint, Ken, and Jersey Joe. Now it's time for him to waddle on his own 2 feet via the glorious SHR media. Gird thy loins for the bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon. Coming soon to Ossicles near you. Excelsior.
Good morning.
I'm Michael Wright.
And I'm Shannon Wright.
Okay, folks, that's not how it goes. I think I'm Shannon, and you're
think so.
Michael.
Yeah.
Okay. We are The Right Way with Shannon and Mike.
Join us from 7 to 9 a.m. Eastern Time.
Live on SHR Media.
And on TECN.
Where we'll be talking about all kinds of things.
From sports and politics.
To food and entertainment.
To money.
Family.
And anything else in between.
Community, holidays, all kinds of things.
It'll be great. Join us from 7 to 9 a.m. Eastern Time.
Human by race, Christian by faith, American by nationality, conservative by choice. It's Reverend Ralph Chittams, the Right Guy, on the Exceptional Conservative Network from 4:05 to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. The Right Guy on TECN.
Yeah, baby. Dig it, baby. Yeah. Shooby-doo, wow, wow, wow. Wow, wow. Oh, man, I'm loving this jazz music. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Exceptional Conservative Show. Live from the nation's capital. We are not ashamed of the good news of conservatism, for it is the power of liberation, first to the Republican, then to the Socialists. When you're in the Euro Pacific Bank Limited TECN chat room at least, when you go into the tab for TECS under the Exceptional Conservative Network at theexceptionalconservativeshow.com, make sure that you respect my bouncer-in-chief, Mary Brockman, because if you diss her, you diss me, and you will be dismissed. Dig it, baby. Yeah. One of my favorite cartoons of all times was Fred Flintstone, when he got hit on the head with a rock, and he began to sing jazz music. I tell you, man, that was a funny episode. Nuclear war going on right now on Capitol Hill. They are crunching numbers. Paul Ryan says, don't worry about it. Everything will be okay. Melanie will still love me. We will pass a bill, and Donald Trump will sign it. That's what Paul Ryan said in the press conference earlier today. At Melanie, if you were compared to Elvira, it definitely was a wow. I gotta wow. Oh wow. She was compared to Elvira. Wow. Do y'all remember Elvira? She was a very attractive woman without all the makeup. She really was. But obviously for that late night show, hey, she did a great job. Hush up. Ladies and gentlemen, the Kraken is going to be released in just about 2 minutes and 2 seconds, but I have something to tell you, and I'm going to tell you one more time to follow me in this regard. And I'm doing all that I can to get on a professional sometime next week to talk about what's going on with Facebook. Now, I asked a question on my Facebook page, personal Facebook page, Kenneth McClinton. And the question was, why did Facebook remove the news feed on the following pages? Money Talk with Melanie, The Right Guy with Ralph Chittams Sr., The Right Way with Shannon and Mike, AC Nation News, The Exceptional Conservative Network, and Open Heart Closed Case. I mean, even Open Heart Closed Case. Is any other conservative experiencing this problem with Facebook? Now, I noted that I only got a few responses back from people, so I presume that they're not after all conservatives, they're just after this conservative. And as such, while they may be spying upon me, they have decided to play psychological warfare games by removing news feeds at various times during the course of the day where it doesn't look like you're doing anything at all. In fact, there's nothing there. So all I'm going to tell you to do, Dave Zapgun Milner says, can lots of others have, even those who have paid for Facebook services. So I believe I'm not the only one then, I suppose. Wasn't her back that made her famous? Okay, crack. I'm just telling you all, Kevin Jackson has a wonderful place that you can go to. It's called teapartycommunity.com, and over the next 72 hours, I'm going to be inviting every one of my friends who are conservative to go to teapartycommunity.com. And the very simple reason is there is a psychological warfare game going on with Facebook, and they're doing all that they can to destroy the relationships amongst conservatives.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic...
I'm just telling you, ladies and gentlemen, for the good of who you are, for your own sanctity, go someplace where conservatives are. You know for a fact. I don't have to... I'm not preaching to the... Actually, I am preaching to the choir here. But even my down low listeners in Washington, D.C. know that this is all set up to confound and confuse conservatives because they want to destroy your message. Your message is finally reaching urban areas, and they can't take that. They don't want you doing that. So I'm just telling you. There's also this place, Connect with Liberty. Okay, yeah. But I'm Tea Party Community, Connect with Liberty. Go those particular places. It is about time for conservatives to do two things. One, you need to start your own party and stop being Republicans. Two, get the heck off of Facebook and go someplace where you will be informative and as well aspirational and inspirational. Ladies and gentlemen, we're getting ready to call the Kraken now. The Kraken. We shall release him in just one moment. Is this the Kraken? Ralph J. Chittams Sr.?
Rising from the depths of the ocean, dripping wet with the knowledge of conservatism, to educate the Republican and vex the progressive. Release the Kraken.
Yes! We shall release him. Oh my God, it's so good to have you here tonight, sir. There is just so much going on in the world. First and foremost, you weren't on the air today, and the reason was there was a family emergency. And so we extend our prayers to you and your family for strength and healing, and that everything goes exceedingly above what we can even ask and think of God.
Well, yeah, thank you so much for your prayers. Yeah, my father-in-law, my wife's father, was admitted to the hospital. He's he's an elderly guy. Cool. Yeah, he has stories that he can tell forever, and he just has a lot of fluid on him that they need to pull off of him, to help his heart and everything else. And so we were down there today, with him, checking on him, making sure he's okay. He said that he got a great night's sleep. He just wished the nurses would stop bothering him all the time.
I love it when they wake you up to give you something so you can go to sleep. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man, I'm asleep already. Can't you figure that out? You went to nursing or doctor school, but no. Thank you for your prayers. I was hanging out like with my wife and her family. They're just checking on him, making sure he was okay. So for those of you who turned on looking for the right guy, I apologize for not airing today. But, God first, family second, and everything else comes third.
Amen. Amen. And that's the way we are on our network. That's exactly how we are on our network. Listen, Kraken, Melanie in the chat roll says that all she wants to do is marry Paul Ryan because he can do no wrong.
He can do no wrong, huh? Okay.
He can do no wrong. He is absolutely perfect when it comes. I got to be honest with you, sir. I am not in favor of this particular piece of bill. I was going to say piece of something else, but piece of bill. And quite frankly, it doesn't look like 28 other Republicans are, and they need that magic number in order to get this bill passed. Is this bill going to pass tomorrow morning?
I sincerely hope that it does not. I am not in favor of it either. Mm-hmm. The first lie we need to put out there, the first lie we need to kill is Ryan Care is not a repeal of Obamacare. Anybody who says that Ryan Care is repealing Obamacare, that's a lie.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just get that out on the table front. It is not. And since it is not a repeal of Obamacare, why are we even messing with this thing? Because all Ryan Care is doing is replacing Obamacare, which is going to implode, with another health insurance plan.
Mm-hmm.
You notice how I described it. This is a health insurance plan, not a health care plan.
Mm-hmm.
It is another health insurance plan that is also going to implode. But when this one implodes, it's going to blow up in the Republicans' faces. You have to be stupid to defuse one time bomb that your enemy put out in front of you, and then put another time bomb out in front of yourself that's also going to explode. You've got to be some kind of an idiot to do that.
You gotta. But Paul Ryan says, and Melanie is at his side, that he has the numbers, and they're adding up every single moment. More and more people in the Congress are lining up because they understand the power of Ryan Care, and that this will go over to the Senate and it will get approved by Mitch McConnell and his people. Aren't you hearing that, sir?
It's possible that this is going to pass. It is very possible. But see, and this is where listeners for the Exceptional Conservative Network, Red Nation Rising, SHR Media, every place else, if these clowns on Capitol Hill actually pass this thing, we need to primary every rhino we can get our hands on in 2018, 2020, and vote them bums out of office.
Bingo! Now, that's one of the wisest things I've heard in a long time, and it's the Kraken who says it. Ralph J. Chittams Sr. with us tonight. He is the host of The Right Guy on Drive Time from 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern Time here on the Exceptional Conservative Network and also SHR Media. Just one final thing regarding this particular matter, and I'll cease and desist from the conversation of it all. 2 days ago, Donald Trump made an elegant appearance on Capitol Hill. And he got them all in the room in the House, and he said, listen, you guys got to pass this thing, or you will lose, and I will win. Will Donald Trump win if this bill does not pass tomorrow?
Honestly, who wins or loses is going to be contingent upon what we conservatives do, depending upon what happens tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be the determining factor of who wins and loses. If they push this bill through and conservatives roll over and play dead, then Ryan wins.
Mm-hmm.
If this bill dies, we win. If this bill is pushed through and we primary these fools in 18 and 20, then we win. See, so whoever, whether this bill goes forward and is passed tomorrow or not, that's not the end of this equation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we need to understand that even if the House passes this tomorrow, it's not the end. Because just the same way that it came through the Congress, the next Congress can take it back.
Yeah.
And we just have to put the right people in who are going to honor the commitment that they made while they were running for office. Like these clowns did, saying they were going to repeal and replace.
Exactly.
Now, if you're not going to repeal and replace after you ran for months, if not years, on repeal and replace, and you go up there and you basically double down, then you need to be a one-term congressman, and we will vote you behind out of Washington.
There you go. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen, with the Kraken. You are listening to the Exceptional Conservative Show live on the nation's capital, and we'll talk with the Kraken about Mr. Ascot, man, and a few other issues this particular week out of Washington, D.C. We'll be back in 2 minutes, 2 seconds, people. Hang in there.
My name is Christopher Arnold. I'm the executive chef of Infused Restaurant, and today I'm going to walk you through some of the meals that we prepared here. We're making a pizza. We use fresh Italian sausage that we cook here and slice it up. Our pizza dough is in-house made. Our pizza sauce is in-house made. So everything is fresh and ingredients. This is our Thai curry chicken. The sauce is made with coconut milk and a Thai red curry. It is juicy chicken thighs as well as some mixed vegetables, served with jasmine rice and pita bread. So now we're going to prepare our famous blackened tilapia and grits, our fish and grits on the menu. And our meal will be complete. Let me tell you about our infused sheep burgers, where we kick the spice up just a little bit with our infused sauce. We start off with 80-20 USDA round chuck ham patty burgers, like half a pound of burger, and we're going to grill it to perfection. After I flip the burger, we add the sauce and let it cook on into the meat just a little bit. We're going to add a little bit of pepper jack cheese to this burger to spice it up a bit. All right.
6339 Allentown Road, Temple Hills, Maryland. That's the place you want to go. Get some good food. Ralph, we need to go there together, brother. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely.
You know, and get that burger the size of my face, the epic, exceptional one, 2 big pounds of beef, 8 slices of bacon, any cheese you want, any bread I'm telling you, if you want a heart attack, Infused Restaurant's the place to go. 6339 Allentown Road, Temple Hills, Maryland. Or if you want to be like my wife and eat healthy, you can go there. They got some healthy stuff. It definitely go there. Ladies and gentlemen, with all of the curiosities going on in the chat room, we are joined this particular evening with Ralph J. Chittams Sr. He is known as the Wright Guy. You can hear him on Drive Time from 4 to 6 p.m. on the Exceptional Conservative Network. But he is also one of the contributors to the Ascot Man Show. Mr. Ascot, I call him. And you will be on this week, am I correct?
Yeah, well, whatever, Ascot. You could probably drop the last syllable of that word.
Now, Mr. Ascot has been quite poignant in his defamation of President Donald John Trump regarding this particular issue of collusion with Russia, and that somehow it was racial, even that the second black president, because Bill Clinton was the first, the second black president was accused of wiretapping Donald Trump. So I want to ask you today, sir, what is it like when you're sitting next to someone who believes that Donald Trump is colluding to hypnotize over 60 million voters to vote for him?
I thought about going on his show earlier today and immediately got a headache. but here's the thing, and what we have to realize is this. The Democrats, all they have to talk about is this smoke regarding Russia. If you take Russia off the table, what else do the Democrats have to talk about? Nothing. Absolutely, positively nothing. So, you know, they're like a man at the edge of a cliff holding on by his fingernails, and the only thing they have to hold on to is Russia, 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 collusion, collusion, collusion. And all Comey did in his testimony was speculation.
Yes.
There are indications that there might have been some possible communications. You couldn't even get somebody convicted in a court of law with that kind of circumstantial evidence.
But wait a minute. Comey had hardcore evidence. And he did 60-minute press conference discussing the hardcore evidence against Hillary Rodham Clinton and John Podesta and the rest of the ilk, and he refused to press charges against them.
Well, and also during his testimony in the Hill, he was asked about, are you investigating the FISA leaks? Are you investigating this? Are you investigating that? And he said, I cannot discuss the existence of any investigations. Then why the hell are you talking about investigations regarding Donald Trump and his associates if you can't discuss ongoing investigations?
There you go. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Now I listened to BZ last night, Sir Mark the Bloviating Zeppelin. They're going to be on. He's going to be on because he's the superstar of Sackheads Radio Night. That's what he tells me behind the scenes. That if it were not for him, there would be no Sackheads Radio. He's been calling since January 20th for the firing of Comey, James Comey. And I got to ask you, sir, is it too late for Donald Trump to fire James Comey?
It's never too late. But and this is where I think President Trump is getting bad advice from people in his current inner circle. It doesn't matter what President Trump does.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter. The alphabet soup of Clinton-skewed news networks is going to vilify him. It doesn't matter. Ascot Man is going to vilify him. The people who are hell-bent on delegitimizing his presidency, it doesn't matter what he does. they are going to seek to destroy him. Here is my advice to President Trump if he's listening. If you know your enemies are going to try to kill you, regardless of what it is you do what the hell you want to do.
Yep.
Go for it.
Go for it. You got nothing to lose. Isn't that what he told black people?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what he does. You've got Maxine Waters talking about impeachment. You've got already, 3 months in, they're talking impeachment. Mr. President, please, if you're listening, it matters not what you do. The people who oppose you are going to seek your head like they are Muslim jihadists.
Yep.
Swing for the fences and do you, bruh. Do you.
Do you. That's what I'm talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking tonight with the Kraken, Ralph J. Chittams Sr., and you can watch him. Is it tomorrow morning on the Ascot Man Show?
Yeah, I'll be on tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. on News One Now with Roland Martin on the TV One network. And, of course, I've got the lineup of things we're going to discuss. And every week it's like I'm Bill Murray on Groundhog Day.
Okay, who the heck is that dude who's reporting from Russia? You know what I'm saying? He has his... He looks like he's in the Bronx eating at his kitchen table.
Country, and all y'all want to do is y'all want to hold on to Russia and this smoke like it is the Hope Diamond, like you're going to wring another carrot out of this gem. Bruh, you're beating a dead horse, so leave it alone. There are other issues that this country is facing. There are other issues facing black America. Since you claim to be the station that's all about black and keeping it black, why don't you focus on some real issues instead of all of this stupidity trying to delegitimize a duly elected president?
I want to talk with you tonight about a very touche matter. And I'm going to put in here the commentary from the Washington Times for everyone to follow today. And this is one of the biggest news stories not being covered by the media in the inner city.
Devin Nunes' statement?
No, not that one. Not that one.
Okay.
But it is the rape of the 13-year-old girl by the 18-year-old man who was in a Rockville high school in her classroom. Okay. I got
two illegal aliens, 17 and 18 years old, are enrolled in a high school in Rockville, Maryland, and because they do not speak English, the 17-year-old and 18-year-old are enrolled as freshmen. Illegal immigrants enrolled in a high school as freshmen. See, that's another part of the story that a lot of news outlets aren't reporting. These guys were in the 9th grade. Now, it's one of those things. I really pray for the girl and for that girl's family, but I don't want people to take what I'm about to say the wrong way. But they picked the right girl. Because if they picked the wrong girl, they wouldn't have to worry about being judged by 12. They'd be carried by 6.
Exactly. But that goes to the fact that no one heard her kicking and screaming. Because the boys, and Melanie understands this because she was once in high school and the boys walked behind her. The boys walking behind her approached her and asked for sex. And then when she said no, they asked her to walk with her, with them. And then they asked her for sex again. And when she said no, they grabbed her and drug her. Now, I want y'all to understand the term here. Drug, meaning they pulled that girl down the hall into the bathroom. No one could hear her screaming?
Right, exactly. No teachers, no security monitors, no nothing. Right. No. And see, and people want to always talk about, being kind and compassionate. There's a place for kind and compassionate. But if you're in this country illegally, you need to get out. You need to be put out. And if you want to come back, you need to get in line like every other person trying to get into the country legally and do it the right way. Period.
Now, I want to ask you here, is the death penalty a justifiable reason right here? Can we use the death penalty here?
No.
Ah.
You know where I stand on the death penalty.
I know.
And even in cases like this, as egregious as they are, and even considering what I just said just a few minutes ago about being judged by 12 and carried by 6, it is, for me, the ultimate intrusion of government is the taking of life.
All right, I'm going to disagree with you here. I would like to see.
We always disagree.
I like to. We got to hold this conversation over one of those exceptional ones at Infuse. Maybe I can convince you. But right here, right now, should the principal of the school and the rest of the administrative staff be fired because there's a major lawsuit coming? This good.
Well, of course they should be fired because the school administrator stood in the way of ICE agents getting to these two.
Wow.
So yes, they should be terminated immediately because had they let ICE do what they were supposed to do, those two would have been in custody and would not have been in that school. So yes, they need the principal and the other administrators need to be fired immediately.
Now, in terms of this, there are liberals in Montgomery County who are fighting, even as we talk right now, in Annapolis, to make Montgomery County and every other county in the state of Maryland a sanctuary county. And the idea is that you could vote out of a sanctuary county. You could opt out, but if you don't, every single county would be a sanctuary county. In California right now, they're working on a bill to make California a sanctuary state. I want your opinion, your thoughts on this. And what would you tell Mr. Ascot, man, if he asked you if California and Maryland should be sanctuary states?
If the legislators in those states vote to make those states sanctuary states, then every legislator who voted for it ought to be mandated by law to have an illegal immigrant move into his or her home.
There you go. Preferably those who like to rape and pillage.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I don't care. I don't care if you have a 13-year-old girl at home. I don't care if you have an 8-year-old boy at home. If you vote to make your state a sanctuary state, you ought to be mandated to house illegal aliens in your home. Period. End of discussion.
There you go.
You want to play that? And all of these little, the Hollywood snowflakes, living in these huge mansions behind cloistered walls and manicured gardens, ain't near one of them open their door to any illegal immigrant, but yet they want to, put a guilt trip on the rest of the country. Oh, what about the poor and the starving immigrants from wherever? You're living in a $50 million house with 12 bedrooms, 18 bathrooms, a pool house, God knows how many acres. How many people are you housing on your property?
There you go.
If the answer is none, shut up.
Well, they do open the door for the illegal aliens. They work in their houses. They mow their lawns.
They're called gardeners and maids.
Exactly. We should be compassionate to the gardeners and maids. There you go. Now, I want to talk with you about something that happened on March 16th in the District of Columbia. And I don't know if you've been following this, but it's been reported in the Washington Blade. Hey! Apparently, D.C. has launched the all-gender bathroom pilot program. According to the Washington Blade, I am not lying to you people. I am not lying to you. The district government has instituted the all-gender bathroom. The D.C. government on March 16th opened its first 2 all-gender bathrooms in the Reeves Center Municipal Parking Building, municipal building, as part of a pilot program to assess the usefulness of such bathrooms in city government buildings. According to Sheila Alexander Reed, director of the mayor's office of LGBTQ/RST/UVW/XYZ affairs, her office, along with the D.C. Department of General Services and the D.C. Office of Human Rights, plan to arrange for additional all-gender bathrooms in any other city buildings. The Department of General Services manages and maintains D.C. government buildings. The quote is, "This is a step toward making sure that all transgendered and gender non-conforming people have access to restroom of their choice."
If some dude who looks like you walks in a bathroom behind my wife or one of my daughters, there's going to be some furniture moving. Period. End of discussion.
There you go. Listen, is there anything that we can do to change what's happening in Washington, D.C.? I mean, is this a moment when we need to pick up the phone and call Jason Chaffetz and say, dude, what are you doing about overseeing D.C.?
There's a very distinct possibility that if Muriel Bowser keeps going down the road that she's embarked upon, she may well be the last mayor of the District of Columbia and home rule may be revoked.
Wow. That's how
we're going down this road of sanctuary city status. That could cost the district $1 billion.
Mm-hmm.
Obamacare implodes, Ryan Care implodes. That's going to hit the district for another $1 billion+. We can't afford those kind of financial hits here in the District of Columbia. And if we cannot financially handle our business, Congress is duty-bound by the United States Constitution to step in and correct its wayward child.
Jason Chaffetz, Congressman from Utah, overseer of the District of Columbia. I think it's time. I can't say anything more than that. Listen, how can people read your stuff, listen to you, and get in contact with you about running for office in the new year, especially if they're conservative?
Okay, well, of course, please tune in to listen to the show, The Right Guy with Ralph J. Chittams Sr., here on the Exceptional Conservative Network and SHR Media from 4 to 6 p.m. on The Right Guy. And if you want to reach out to me directly, reach out to me through my consulting company. I have formed, it's been about a year old now, Black Elephant Consultants, LLC. So reach out to me at Chittams, CHITTAMS, at blackelephantconsultants.com. If you want to run for office, or if you just want to talk politics, ask a question, answer a question, reach out to me. I'd love to speak with any of your listeners who want to engage.
There you go. Thank you, sir, and we wish you well tomorrow with Mr. Ascot, man. God bless you and Godspeed.
I'm gonna sign off. I'm gonna get out of the chat room because I need to go to bed so I have some energy to go deal with this foolishness.
Good night. God bless you, sir. Oh, man. The Kraken has to be put away for the night. Oh, my God. Ladies and gentlemen, you got to just pray for that, man. You really do. Ladies and gentlemen, when we come back, I want to talk with you a little bit more about what Facebook is doing to TECN and its hosts, and to encourage you to not only listen tonight to Sackheads Radio, which is coming up at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. You can go to shrmedia.com, but you can also stay tuned with us, and we will discuss that in greater detail. Trust me, you need to move, and you need to move now from Facebook. The war has begun. We'll be right back. Shoo-be-doo, wow, wow. Shoo-be-doo, wow, wow, wow.
Meet Jason. He was really excited to start growing his business with social media until he realized how complex and time-consuming social media can be. It's difficult to manage multiple social networks and accounts. It's hard to monitor what's happening on social media, follow discussions, and engage with new followers. It's time-consuming to publish updates throughout the day, track and analyze how effective posts are, respond to fans and followers in a timely manner, and gain new customers. The list seems to go on and on. Jason quickly becomes discouraged. How could he ever do all of this and still run a business? He was ready to give up on social media until he found eClincher, the easiest way to manage social media. Jason was amazed how straightforward and simple it is to use eClincher. How could he ever do all of this? Jason is now able to leverage the power of social media without having to dedicate several hours a day. He can easily organize all his social media accounts in one place. How straightforward and simple it is to use eClincher. How could he ever do all of this? Jason is now able to leverage the power of social.
Wow. eClincher, everybody. eClincher. Ladies and gentlemen, Jersey Joe. What is up? What is up with this? Okay, Jersey Joe, take it away, man.
Hey, it's Jersey Joe from the Reaver Common Sense. You can catch me every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on shrmedia.com. That's every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, shrmedia.com.
Thank you for the turkey call, and I really enjoy ICRN, your station, the station I listen to all day.
No, yeah. Okay, thanks, Dominique, for that.
You are listening to the Exceptional Conservative Network. For more information, go to www.theexceptionalconservativeshow.com.
The best late-night conservative talk show in America, TECN Radio. And listen, there are no people better on the air to give you the best in conservative talk than TECN Sean and TECN Clint. And we're working on the immigration papers for a certain other guy who happens to work here too. For those who are tuning in around the world to the best in late night conservative talk, TECN Radio. The best late night conservative talk show in America. In America.
And in this web was a large, I'm pretty sure it was the biggest spider I've ever seen.
Ladies and gentlemen, no more commercials. Thank God. God bless Texas. TECN Radio tonight, 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Be there. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you back to the Exceptional Conservative Show live for the nation's capital. Yes, little Texas. God bless Texas. Ain't nothing like Texas. I love me some Texas, and I'm praying right now for Professor Michael Jones. Hopefully he'll be with us tomorrow night for New Day Black and Red. We'll get more information as time goes on. A lot of prayers this week. We've been praying a lot this week. God has definitely challenged us to love him more and to seek his face. So make sure that you all do that this week. Listen, Sackheads, the Sackheads radio show tonight at 11 p.m. Eastern time. You can go to shrmedia.com, shrmedia.com, shrmedia.com. Chuck Berry died on Sunday. Yeah. Yes, he did. 90 years old. Chuck Berry. Wow. I'm not daring to play Chuck Berry because I know what's going to happen if I play Chuck Berry. I'm going to get a letter from his people, and they will be very, very unhappy. Go to teapartycommunity.com, teapartycommunity.com. Get out of the foolishness of Facebook psychological warfare. Please do that. Save yourselves the heartache and the heartbreak. I know some of y'all think y'all the most favorite people on the earth, that Facebook only doesn't mess with you. They mess with other people. I'm telling y'all right now, y'all need to get the heck up out of Facebook as fast as you possibly can and take your family with you. Don't take the lots with you. Just take the good family with you. Anyway, live from B-More, Charm City, we are talking tonight with the third Vice-Chairwoman of the state of Maryland's GOP party. And we just lost her that quickly, too. How about that? All right. So we're going to try this one more time. Let's hope we get her. We show an American original respect. There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, we are attempting to connect with the most powerful black woman in the house on her street. Shannon Wright.
Good evening.
Good evening, Shannon. Listen, congratulations to you. We found out that you were honored today by the Women's Veterans Committee, Inc. United Committee.
Yes,
Committee.
I was surprised. I wasn't expecting, anything. I really wasn't expecting.
Wow, and you gave a very nice speech today to the women.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. I noticed that you did not give any shout-outs to the men, but
No, that's not true, actually. My thank you, my word, that was to everyone. That was to all of the veterans.
Yeah, but you're supposed to do something special for the men. For the guys. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh. Yeah, okay. No, don't know what you're saying. No,
But
what about that?
A wonderful speech, and you look absolutely divine in your outfit. You look so lovely. And I was very, very proud of you. Very proud of you.
Thank you. It was an honor and a privilege to be there today and to be able to address that room.
Yeah.
It really, really was.
Listen, and they even allowed me in there, which I was amazed.
They welcomed you. They didn't just allow. They welcomed you into that room, sir.
Listen, I in all due to this particular show, my commitment to the military, and especially to the veterans who have served their time. But they've been working on a bill for the past 20 years that would allow individuals who are filing their state income tax returns to check off a donation for disabled veterans. It's not a mandatory thing. You don't have to do it, but you're given the chance of using a portion of your money to donate to disabled veterans, those who have given blood, sweat, and tears for this country. Why hasn't it gotten past the assembly?
I have no idea. I can only say, I mean, to me, it would be similar to when you go to motor vehicle, they ask if you want to register to vote.
Yeah.
So I really can't give you an honest answer. You're not saying that it's mandatory. You're not saying that you'll be penalized anyway if you don't, or any of that. So I really am not sure.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah, it really is. And when you look, I looked in that room, and not all of them are young, if you know what I mean.
I do.
They lived a very full life, but at this particular end of their course, their journey, you would think that the government, which was built upon their blood, sweat, and tears, wouldn't find it a problem to do something for them that would help ease and comfort them in this particular day and time. I was taken aback that they wouldn't even consider that as an option, because they do give you the option to give money towards the Chesapeake Bay, don't they?
They give you the option to give to a couple of strange things.
If you want to throw your money down the river, there you go. You can do that. But I want to ask you your relationship with Dr. Joanne Fisher. You all just seem so beautiful up there. And I want to ask you, how did that relationship start, and why is it so strong?
I don't even know if she would remember when we first spoke, but I actually do. She spoke to Michael first. We were on the bus to Cleveland for the RNC convention, and there were delays and this and that and everything with the buses, and Michael had a bag of chips, and she politely went over and introduced herself and said, "Can I please have some of your chips?"
Wow.
Dr. Fisher is not even remotely shy. And we just kind of struck up a conversation from there, and we've been in communication since.
Wow. I'm telling you, if you get a chance to talk to her before I do, because she just loves you.
She's an awesome lady. She really is an awesome lady.
Yeah, she deserves all the kudos. That room was packed today with veterans. And they weren't just veterans of age, they were veterans of youth as well. That was an amazing thing to see, because normally veterans don't get involved in that type of activity, right?
No, that is true. And it wasn't even just veterans, young and old. There were elected officials, legislators there to pay their respects and honor the veterans as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought it was very nice to see a room full of veterans and other folks there to really honor them. I thought that was very nice.
Now, and I also must admire the fact that the GOP in the state of Maryland, I was awed, were well represented there. And servicemen, former servicemen, veterans, who also serve in the assembly were present there. How important is it to have the assemblymen in the room with these particular veterans?
You know the answer. That is very important. I mean, these are folks that fought and paid a personal price to serve our country, and to have the elected officials that make the policies and the legislation that guides and moves our country there to honor them, that means a lot.
Yeah.
It means a lot.
Indeed. And we heard a great many testimonies of those who have gone through the storms after leaving the military.
Yes.
Why is Dr. Fisher's organization so important to those individuals?
Well, if I understand the statistics correctly, a large portion of the older homeless women are veterans.
Yeah.
A large number of homeless older males are veterans. There is a disconnect between when people put their own well-being and their families to the side to defend this country, to fight for this country, wherever this country says go and fight, and they come back and they are less than.
Wow.
That's wrong.
Wow. Listen, I was very proud of you and Dr. Fisher today and the host of women that were there fighting the good fight for veterans, not just in the state of Maryland, but across the country. And I was awed to speak before them as well. And it was a very humbling experience, and I related to the point where I was when I was at the Pentagon, and how awesome it is to see these men and women in uniform who have given their blood, sweat, and tear for this country, and are not ashamed, not unwilling to continue doing it for the rest of their lives. It takes a special kind of person to be in the military. Listen, Shannon, how can people listen to your radio program in the morning?
Well, I would normally say they could go to Right Way with Shannon and Mike in the AM on Facebook, but that's really at this moment a good question because that's, kind of iffy.
Facebook war. Facebook war. And I know that you and Melanie are not blaming me. So.
Oh, it's all your fault. It's all your fault. If you can't find us at The Right Way with Shannon and Mike in the AM on Facebook, you can try reaching out through my page, Pastor Shannon Wright, on Facebook. From now on, I will be using both pages to post and share information.
There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't learn anything tonight, I hope that you learned this. God bless America. It's time for America to bless God. We'll see you tomorrow. Stay tuned for SHR Sackheads Radio. Good night and God bless. Love you, Shannon.
Love you too.
God bless Texas.